starts right now.
When you are in a hurry, you just don't want to be pulled over and got stopped for like 15, 20 minutes.
A new program that plans to cut down on traffic stops, but not on tickets. Instead, officers can send those tickets straight to your phone. Yeah, we know you have questions. We're going to explain how it all works coming up.
And the search for Lena Keel continues. Tonight, a tip from a psychic makes its way to the San Antonio Police Department, where it led them and how the search played out coming up. Plus,
these pigs help a Bernie High School student earn more than $30,000. You're not going to believe the worthy cause that's going to, coming up tonight.
but first, what if a police officer texted you a traffic ticket? Well, that's the gist of a new program from the Windcrest Police Department.
So the whole idea here is to avoid police pulling people over for minor offenses and leaving more officers available for potentially dangerous situations. But as the night team's John Paul Barajas reports, it's getting some mixed reviews.
No one ever wants to be pulled over. You're either in a rush or might find face-to-face interactions with officers to be intimidating or stressful. The Windcrest Police Department is now testing out a new program for traffic violations. It lets them send drivers their ticket through text.
I think it saves time. So it gives the police more time to do other things.
But some Windcrest residents were more skeptical.
Talk to people like a regular person, not with the badge. I think that'll kind of solve some issues, for the people getting pulled over too. It's gonna go sign for them.
This program is only running in Windcrest, but its success depends on the residents' their participation. Users are asked to sign up on mytrusteddriver.com, then input some personal information, including their cell phone number and details from their driver's license. Police can then see if you're a part of the program by scanning your license plate.
So far, we have not come in contact with anybody that signed up for the program. Our patrol cars haven't come across anyone yet.
Lieutenant Benjamin Crum explained the program has only been running for about 2 weeks. And if you're caught speeding, your ticket will go to your phone, eliminating that face-to-face interaction. We hear far too often that a routine traffic stop turned deadly.
It's terrifying that communities of color can make a wrong turn or make a small traffic violation, and that can be the outcome of whether or not they go home to their family.
Executive Director of Black Freedom Factory, Camille Factory, is a big advocate of changing how law enforcement and civilians interact. She says this program is not the solution, but certainly a step in the right direction. And if you do decide to sign up for this program, you can also enter some medical information that might be useful for officers when responding to you or in case of an emergency. And just because you sign up for the program doesn't mean you automatically plead guilty to a ticket. You can still contest that, and you can do it all online. We also reached out to the program developers to try to get them to comment about how many people actually signed up in Windcrest, but we're still waiting to hear back from them. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. The search for Lena Keel stretching outside city limits. The 3-year-old disappeared on December 20th while at a playground at the Villas del Cabo apartments. San Antonio police confirm a tip was received in that case, leading investigators to the town of Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg police say the tip came from a psychic who directed officers to an area near Cross Mountain Drive. Nothing found during that search. Local advocacy group Eagles Flight also searched. They didn't find anything. Tomorrow, the Muslim community will hold a special prayer service in San Antonio for little Lena.
Not just as a Muslim community, but also as a San Antonio community that, like, we have always come together for a lot of things in the past too.
If you would like to attend tomorrow's service, it'll be happening at the Muslim Children's Education and Civic Center. That's on Casabella. The service starts at 2 tomorrow afternoon.
And now to a problem property that we've been following for months. The city is taking another step to shut down a former bar on the east side. So neighbors complain that the property became a gathering spot for trouble. We've told you about several shootings near that property on Drexel and Hackberry. Records from the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission show that property owners lost their liquor license in February of 2020. And last month, the city revoked the building's certificate of occupancy. So now the city is planning to hold a public hearing and discuss whether the property is a public nuisance. And if it is, it could be demolished. And not just that, if that happens, the owner would have to pay for that. Now, turning now to the pandemic, Metro Health says that COVID hospitalizations are down. There are now 1,245 patients in the hospital, 282 in the ICU, 127 on ventilators. Metro Health also confirmed that 15 more people have died from the virus.
That new voting law in Texas continues to impact voters applying for a mail-in ballot. That includes a military veteran who says his application has been rejected twice.
Been voting for many, many years, and I've never missed a vote.
95-year-old Kenneth Thompson Checks lives in Houston. He fought in World War II, has been voting since he was 21 years old. The new voting law requires a driver's license number or social security number that matches the voter's registration record. That's information that was never required from Thomas before now, so it wasn't on his record. It's why his application's been rejected twice. He's now had to re-register to vote and is now applying for a mail-in ballot once again. By the way, a reminder, you're going to need to register to vote by Monday to participate in the primary election. The deadline to apply for a mail-in ballot is February 18th. Election Day is March 1st.
And now for a look at other big news. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is joining 7 other states to stop an immigration program, and that's according to the Texas Tribune. The program allows some Central American children to legally migrate to the U.S. and reunite with their parents or legal guardians, and that includes family with pending asylum cases. That program, by the way, was created in 2014. The attorneys general argue that the Biden administration just doesn't have the authority to run the program because it wasn't approved by Congress. Now, President Joe Biden promising swift changes after a bridge collapsed in Pittsburgh, and it happened just before he was going to visit the city to highlight his $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law.
Across the country, there are 45,000 bridges in poor condition. It's just simply unacceptable.
10 people got hurt in that collapse. Nobody was killed. That bridge was last inspected in September, and back then, inspectors said that its condition was poor. The structure was 52 years old. So a winter storm has several eastern states on alert. It's affecting travel way ahead of the storm. The weather is forecast to impact people in Kentucky to North Carolina to Maine. It's a big boy. Blizzard conditions with hurricane-force winds are predicted in some spots. Amtrak, we know, is shutting down train service for some lines. Airlines also canceling thousands of flights. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
And around here, we actually have a chance at some showers in the forecast. Not this weekend, though, and actually it's going to be a cool start to the day tomorrow. We have a rain chance by Monday, brief warming trend, and then a cold snap by next Thursday. We're going to talk about all of this in more detail in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Mark your calendars, property owners. Monday, the deadline to pay your 2021 property tax bill before you're hit with penalties or interest. Interest on delinquent bills begin at 7%. All tax office locations will have extended business hours on Monday. You can also make payments online at bear.org/tax. or by calling the number on your screen. This deadline does not apply to taxpayers who are already on a payment plan.
Still ahead on the Night Beat, one local girl is bringing home the bacon to help others fight cancer. We're going to head to the farm that helped make that happen.
Plus, fierce felines and a murder for hire plot. The Tiger King brought back into court to face the judge. The new sentence against him and what his lawyers now have to say.
And a coffin draped with the U.S. flag catches the attention of federal investigators. We're going to tell you about the discovery that was made just south of San Antonio. It's next on the Night Beat.
A Texas man admitted to using a coffin with a U.S. flag draped over its top to try and cover up a human smuggling scheme. The scheme uncovered at the Border Patrol checkpoint near Falfurrias back in October. 33-year-old Zachary Taylor Blood, who's from Galveston, stopped at that checkpoint with the coffin in the back of a van. Agents say 2 things stood out. The first, the coffin seemed to be in pretty poor condition. The second, packing tape was used to secure the U.S. flag to the lid of the coffin. Agents say 2 men from Mexico were hiding inside that coffin. Blood faces 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine in this case.
We got to talk about the Tiger King now because, obviously you've seen him on Netflix's Tiger King series. And now Joe Exotic is being sentenced once again. The Oklahoma court only reduced his sentence by a year. He's now slated to spend 21 years in prison in the murder-for-hire plot targeting Carol Baskin as well as other crimes. Joe Exotic's lawyer says that he's going to appeal that decision.
And closer to home tonight, a dance hall demolished, a Leon Springs landmark gone. You may remember the red barn-style building near I-10 and Bernie Stage Road, the Leon Springs Dance Hall. Well, it became an icon in the 90s and early 2000s. After it was closed, it was reopened by a catering company for special events. It closed for good in 2017 before the Wash Tub Company took over the property. They say the building had to come down due to safety concerns and age. They have no plans right now to develop anything on this piece of land.
New tonight, she won her battle with cancer, and now a Kendall County High School student is helping others do the same. And the 17-year-old is using pigs to do it. The night team's Patty Santos is going to show us how.
I enjoy watching the pigs grow up and when they're little, bonding with them.
The little hobby that started about 4 years ago has grown into an all-encompassing family affair for Maddie Barber.
I just like it, especially at shows where we see all of our friends that show and then the family we show with.
The livestock shows are for fun, to show off ag projects, learn leadership, and sometimes make a little money too. A few weeks ago during the Kendall County Junior Livestock Show, she placed second in her category. As part of the show, there's a fundraiser auction for the kids.
It's a premium sale, not a terminal sale. So the kids get to keep their animal because we have a show the next week.
An average premium sale brings in about $1,000 to $2,000. When it was her turn, Barber told the auctioneer her funds were going to be donated.
Right after he said all donations go to St. Jude, all the cards went up.
She was floored to see how her community was supporting a cause so close to her heart.
When the one person said $13,000, my jaw literally dropped.
Her community raised $30,500 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
St. Jude, they saved my life, so I owe them my life.
It started in the summer of 2017.
I had brain cancer. It was called medulloblastoma. It was about an avocado seed sized tumor on my brainstem.
She spent 8 months at St. Jude's and she's now cancer free. But her pig showing days are just getting started. You can see her in the upcoming San Antonio, San Angelo, and Houston Junior Livestock shows. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Wow.
Paying it back.
I love that. I love that story.
Yeah. And she's, cancer free, but not forgetting what it was like for her to go through that is amazing.
And helping other people in the community. And what a difference it makes to those people who are going through that. And we know that she's going to continue to do wonderful things. So
absolutely.
Can't wait to hear from her again.
Yeah. All right. Let's turn to the weather situation right now. And it was great to see the sun.
Indeed. Ooh, it felt kind of nice today. I got to say, no jacket. You didn't really need any of that. 42 degrees, though, right now. Getting a live look over 410 right now.
You know it's warm when Stephanie doesn't need a jacket.
You know
it. She's the one that's always cold inside,
yes.
no matter what.
Yes.
So, yes, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. We like that. I do want to point out a light freeze to start the day tomorrow. So we'll be at about 31 degrees in the morning and some 20s up there, upper 20s, parts of the hill country and some other locations just west of San Antonio. But a brief light freeze. And then notice those morning temperatures, they get up to 50 degrees by Monday. So a bit of a warming trend is on the way, but wait till you see what happens with temperatures, especially the high temperatures with our next cold front. We're going to get into that in a moment. First, I want to talk about our next rain chance because it's actually looking a little more promising. Big picture, it's a snow that's really developing and the nor'easter that's developing, basically just a big low pressure system off the coast of the mid-Atlantic, moving up the New England coastline and strengthening tonight and through tomorrow. That's going to bring them a couple feet of snow in parts of New England throughout the day tomorrow. Our next system, that's in the Pacific right now. Closing in on California at this time. Some moisture associated with it, of course. Not a whole lot, but some. But I do think it can tap into some moisture around here as we get into Monday. So here's our futurecast this weekend. nothing but sunshine. Beautiful weekend. Yeah, cool mornings, but afternoons comfortable in the 60s. We get into Monday. We're talking pre-dawn hours. We should start to see some scattered showers, maybe even some non-severe thunderstorms. And I do think we'll have higher moisture content closer to the Gulf of Mexico, dew points closer to 60 degrees. And we could actually have some meaningful rainfall in some parts of our area. I think the best chance of that is east of Highway 281. So locations farther east of San Antonio, the higher your rainfall potential is as we get into Monday. Of course, there's still a lot of time between now and then to get into specifics, but we could easily see a quick half an inch in some spots east of town. I mean, we're talking Hallettsville, Shiner, Moulton, Gonzales, Cuero, Victoria, Beeville. That's where we have, I think, the best potential. But of course, we'll keep you updated through the weekend. 41 right now. Getting a little chilly outside. Dew point at 26. So air is, of course, very dry. Kerrville at the freezing point, 32. Fredericksburg, 31 degrees. Elsewhere, we're right around the 40-degree mark. And the big picture, yeah, it shows some colder air to the north, of course, but it doesn't show the next cold front that's going to be hitting us. You know, I often like to come up into Canada, take a peek at their temperatures and, you know, show you the cold air mass that's going to be dropping southward. It's not even in the Northwest Territories yet. Actually, the cold air that's coming our way is sitting right over the North Pole right now, and it's going to be dropping southward in the days ahead. And the colors on the map indicate the coldest air out there, and the core of the cold air is going to stay to the north of us, and we're actually going to see warmer temperatures all the way through Wednesday. We'll have temperatures in the 70s Monday through Wednesday. So warm conditions, but then that cold blast plunges southward and we get clipped by it Thursday and Friday. So the core of the cold air stays to the north of us, but we get clipped by it. It's not going to be like last February, but you are going to feel it. That's for sure. So 31 tomorrow morning, 64 in the afternoon, wall-to-wall sunshine. Again, we'll have some 20s out there. Kerrville 26 in the morning, Fredericksburg 25. Even Pleasanton could drop down to 28. But by the afternoon, we are all well into the 60s and even a little closer to 70 on Sunday. Wall-to-wall sunshine again. Beautiful weekend. Monday's that better rain chance. Right now we have it at 40%. Wouldn't surprise me if we raise that percentage a little bit, especially for those of you east of town. But look at those temperatures. As I step away, we go from the mid-70s Tuesday and Wednesday closer to 40 degrees for a high temperature next Thursday and Friday.
That's going to be a drop.
It's a drop. It's not last February, but you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? We're also going to feel this really nice weekend now. I'm excited about that. And a perfect way to go into the weekend with a Spurs win.
This is a huge win against a very good Chicago Bulls team that's on the top of the Eastern Conference standings when we come back, and they do it on DeMar DeRozan's return night. How about that? And Jerry Jones wants to clear the air when it comes to his head coach. Coming up.
Leader, really been our go-to guy, game after game after game.
Spurs family, please welcome back DeMar DeRozan.
A tribute to DeMar DeRozan, his first game back since leaving the Spurs on game day. For tip-off, DeMar shared a hug with Papa on his 73rd birthday before the Spurs hosted the Bulls. Keldon Johnson comes out on fire in this game. First, the catch-and-shoot three. Then he attacks the paint, spins, and finishes with a finger roll. But the Spurs would be down 6 going to the second quarter. They would go down by 10 until DeJounte Murray comes live. Murray pokes the ball away from Zach LaVine. Going the other way, LaVine doesn't give up and blocks Murray at the rim. Bulls get the rebound, but Murray doesn't give up this time. He gets another steal. Then he drains the jumper, and the Spurs take the lead. But DeMar DeRozan had 17 first-half points. Turnaround baseline jumper helps the Bulls to a 5-point lead at halftime. Spurs take over in the third quarter. Murray gets the bump, loses the ball, but Jakob Poeltl scoops it up, gets it to Devin Vassell for the three, but Murray turns his ankle on the play and heads to the locker room. Spurs don't miss a beat, though. Vassell finishing in the paint to help the Spurs close on the third on a 15-4 run. 7-point lead heading into the fourth. Spurs lead would grow to 13, but DeMar DeRozan cuts it down to 4 when he hits his three with a little more than a minute to go. He finished with 32. DeJounte returns, gets into the lane, finishes with a floater and an 8-point lead, and that would do it. 7 Spurs in double figures, led by Murray with 29, who misses a record-breaking triple-double by 1 rebound. Spurs knock off the Bulls 131-122.
I feel like tonight was a night where we were just flowing. Everybody was contributing. We were making our shots. We were being aggressive on offense. We were trying to take advantage of our movement, of any mistake they were making on defense.
All right, before suiting up in San Antonio tonight for the first time since the sign and trade deal that sent him to Chicago, DeMar DeRozan found out he's an all-star again. The fans helping vote him into the Eastern Conference starting lineup, his first all-star appearance since 2018, his 5th overall. DeMar's career is seeing a resurgence, averaging 26.5 points a game, and one of the main reasons why the Bulls are doing so well this season.
I mean, it's always an honor, especially when you get voted in by the fans. Just being a player that, the fans want to see is definitely an honor. I would never, ever take that for granted. And just being back in it is just an honor in itself. So, I'm happy. Having my teammates help me get here. I got to give so much credit to them. Without them, I wouldn't even have this chance to even be named the starter. So I got to give so much credit to my teammates and the coaching staff.
All right, next up, a quick road trip to Phoenix. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones clearing the air when it comes to his head coach. Next.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones decided to clear the air today when it comes to Mike McCarthy as his head coach. It follows a report last night that McCarthy was told he was returning to the Cowboys as their head coach in 2022 after Jones seemed to back away from committing to McCarthy after the Cowboys were shocked in the first round of the NFL playoffs by the 49ers. That's where penalties that plagued the team all season long came back to bite them again with 14 flags for 89 yards. But during an appearance on a Dallas radio station today, Jones wanted to clear the air about McCarthy.
The thing I want to clear up is that the idea of Mike being twisting in the wind just wasn't the case at all. We were sitting there trying to keep Dan Quinn and trying to maintain continuity on our coaching staff. But it was never an issue with me, with Mike being the head coach. You never heard that from me.
You sure didn't sound like it, though, did it? Boys high school basketball tonight, 3-0 Pleasant taking on 3-0 Livonia. The home team trying to rally down double digits. David Lundsman with the Euro step, reverse laying off the glass. Nice play, makes it a 10-point game, but the Eagles came to play. First, Jace Krotzkopf with the pump fake, then hits the three that gets Pleasant fans on their feet, 51-32 Eagles. Then watch this, R.J. Marquez comes up with a steal and then dishes out. No-look pass to Lane Dowdy for the land. Eagles roll to a big win, 74-45. District 27-5A. Good matchup between Sam Houston and Brackenridge. Hurricanes down by 10 in the fourth quarter off the miss. Aaron Harden gets a rebound and the putback that cuts a lead into that lead. But the Eagles pull away. Zach Desmith working under the basket, gets a shot to fall. Count it plus the foul. Brackenridge gets the win, 58-45. Both teams now tied at 8-3 in that district. Same district now, girls basketball tonight. Alamo Convocation Center, Edison versus Lanier. First quarter, Golden Bears turning to defense to offense. Amber Gamez comes up with a steal, takes it the distance from the lay-in to tie the game at 6. But the Vokes answer right back. Kalia Munoz gets the floater to fall. She had the team's first 8 points, but Edison rallies to win 45-40. He grew up in San Antonio, played for Central Catholic High School before signing with San Antonio SC. Now, Jose Gallegos, the club is transferring him to Denmark to a top first division team. Not bad for just being 20 years old. He basically grew up in front of our eyes, and now he's playing in one of the top European leagues.
He's a kid you're going to want to watch.
Oh, yeah. He's very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Greg.
For him. All right. We'll be right back. For the first time in her 10-year career, 911 operator Megan Biberos got to meet the people on the other end of the call. Those people are Jill and John Clarkin and their newborn Adeline, who Biberos helped deliver. Last Saturday, the couple had to call 911 because their baby was coming, whether they were ready or not. Now, Biberos calmly guided mom and dad through the delivery, which took place in their bathroom. By the way, everyone's healthy, and look at that beautiful baby girl. Biberos says that she's going to remember this forever.
Did they name the baby Biberos? No, probably not.
That would have been cool, yeah.
Yeah, just
no. Adeline.
Maybe middle name.
Named the baby Adeline.
Adeline Biberos.
I like the middle name. That would be rowdy.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, cool tomorrow morning. A light freeze to start the day, then 60s every afternoon this weekend and sunny. By Monday, we could actually see some meaningful rainfall in some spots. So we're going to keep an eye on that and keep you updated through the weekend. Little cold snap end of next week by Thursday.
Ooh, enjoy your weekend.
We'll see you on Monday.